Flying Eagles of Nigeria have been eliminated from the FIFA Under-20 World Cup. Now, the focus of the Nigerian Football Federation will fully be on the Super Falcons tonight, because they will be the ones to actually heal the broken-hearted, so to speak, especially those who watched the Flying Eagles failing to fly over the Germans yesterday morning. Hello and welcome. I'm Cecilia Mogben. You're watching Sports This Morning. Now let's take a look at the major headlines. Of course, we're starting with the Super Falcons. These girls are fully focused on claiming all 3 points against the Matildas tonight in Winnipeg. A win for Nigeria will see them take a giant step to qualifying from the so-called Group of Death. Also on the program, Usain Bolt can't wait to face the fastest man this season, Justin Gatlin, in the 100 meters at World Championships in Beijing, China. And in the NBA, the Golden State Warriors are brimming with confidence, having even the series at 2-2 in Game 4. Game 5 will be in Cleveland on Sunday night. Now let's listen to Asisat Oshoala on how focused the team really is ahead of tonight's clash against Australia.
It wasn't a bad one for us against Sweden. We played out our heart, and at the end of the game, it was a good game. It was a good result. It's normal. As a team, we just told ourselves we don't have to give up, and we don't have to think we've arrived or something. Playing 3-3 against Sweden, I think that's just a start for us. And also, the second game is much more important than the first one. That first one has passed, and this is the next game. So the focus of the girls is now on the next game, and everyone wants to win, The Australian side, a very good side, very good and tough as well. So I think the next game is our target, and we're ready to go out there to give our best.
Asisat Oshoala, just the keeper to beat. It must be 2-0 for Nigeria. Asisat Oshoala.
That was the game against North Korea when they played the Under-20 last year, also in Canada. And of course, she was the most valuable player at the time, and also were the highest goal scorer. But presently, this is the senior stage, and for the Super Falcons, once they get a victory tonight, well, the stage is obviously set for them to get past where they've been before. And now, talking about the Super Falcons, how will they be able to make that game tonight? Well, you guys can talk to us on Twitter, of course, on Facebook, on what you feel about the girls. If you feel they can really heal the heartaches of every Nigerian who actually watched the game against the Germans yesterday, it wasn't really what everyone expected. But if you're looking at the Germans, numbers of goals they've scored, 16, and of course having to concede 2 out of those 16 goals they scored, and for the Flying Eagles to concede just 1 for that firepower, you will say the boys really did well. No wonder Nigerian Football Federation actually said that, well, they were actually a decent side. What do you guys feel? Well, should they be praised for their outing, and should the focus shift on Super Falcons? And how will the Super Falcons be able to beat the Australians? You can talk to us on Twitter, of course, on Facebook. Is there on your screen. Now, talking about the Australians, they have a very, very bad record, so to speak, when it comes to the world stage. Now, the very first edition, they were not there at all. They did not qualify for that tournament. But the second one in 1995 in Sweden, well, it was just the group stage. And in that one, they did not win a single game. Then the second one in 1999 in USA, they managed just 1 draw. And it was also at the group stage that they left the stage. And the next one in 2003, it was also at the group stage. This one also, they also managed a draw. Then the quarterfinals in China in 2007 and 2011, the last edition, they got to the quarterfinals of that particular one. So it shows that with time, where the Australians were getting better, while the Super Falcons, when the last time they got to the quarterfinals, but after that, it's all been the group stage. Now, looking at the numbers of goals they've scored and the games they've played about 17 games so far at the FIFA Women's World Cup. That's before this particular edition. Games won 3, games lost 10, and goals conceded 24. And the goals scored 24 and the goals conceded 39. So for the Australians, the record are actually better than that of the Super Falcons. So well, let's just see what's going to happen tonight. Edwin Okon is talking tough. He's saying that he has plan A. When you think you've gotten his plan A, then he will go to plan B. So it's difficult for any team to actually pin them down. So how can the Australians do that? Well, he says anyone who tries to predict my team will definitely not get the best out of it, because for him, he feels you can easily change the tactics. He was saying that anyone who tries to predict my team will be disappointed because we can't be predicted. All my players are equal to the task, and any one of them can start a game. Remember, Petra Okocha did not play in that game. Of course, you also have Courtney Dike also was on the bench, so he's got a rich bench. It says nobody can predict the Nigerian team. Only our Father in heaven can do that. Because if you read us A, we will give you B. The girls are determined for success and to make the country proud. So tonight we get to find out about that. It's 10 p.m. Nigerian time, and trust the Super Falcons. After the game they played against Sweden, and the girls obviously are not carried away with that. You heard from Aziza Tushola, who says that, well, they just put a victory behind them and see how they can focus on the game against Australia. What they're targeting, not just the point, not a point at all. They're targeting all 3 points. They believe that's the only way they can take a major step to get into the next round. And with all the hype around the girls, and with all hope actually on the girls right now, after the Flying Eagles failed to fly well in New Zealand, so every focus obviously is on the girls. And tonight, we hope and pray that they don't get to disappoint Nigerians. But if you enjoyed their first game and really see the way they were able to come from 2 goals down to draw that game 3-0, 6 goals thriller, that people started saying it's more like an advertisement for women football, you will surely know that, well, the Super Falcons will be ready to fly over the Matildas tonight. Now, talking about what happened yesterday night, of course, early hours of this morning, some of the results for Côte d'Ivoire, but obviously not a good one for them at all. Now, if you're looking at Group A, you have China and Netherlands. It was a lone goal. Netherlands losing that. Remember, China actually lost their opening game to the host nation, Canada, and of course, winning that one. It seems that group is going to be very tight. And Canada and New Zealand ended goalless. Not much goals to celebrate in that Group A. Same thing happened in their opening round games. Now, looking at Group B, Germany and Norway, firepower. Germany have won the FIFA Women's World Cup twice, and for Norway, they've won it just once. And so the two of them met early hours of this morning. Of course, it was the Germans and the Norwegians. It ended 1-1. And for Côte d'Ivoire and Thailand, well, Thailand, of course, managed to beat Côte d'Ivoire by 3-2. If you missed that game, I think the post will definitely be having headaches right now, because most of their shots were obviously saved by the post. For Thailand, they won that one 3-2. And Côte d'Ivoire, second game in a row, not winning. Well, definitely they are not the first team to actually come to the FIFA Women's World Cup not getting anything out of this. But their last game is going to be against the host nation, Canada. Can they at least they've been able to score 2 goals? Would they be able to get anything out of that game? That's what we'll wait for when they get to face Canada in their last game. So for Thailand making their debut, they've got 3 points already in their pocket. Now, looking at today's fixtures, it's obviously going to be a tough one. Switzerland and Ecuador. Remember, Cameroon actually, well, ensured that Ecuador not making a good debut at all at the tournament. Cameroon also making their debut. They were able to beat Ecuador 6-0. But right now, the Ecuadorians would definitely want to take something out of Switzerland, who are also making their debut in the tournament. Japan and Cameroon, that's another tough one. Japanese are the defending champions of this tournament. First time they won it, very last edition, they were able to beat the Americans. And, of course, they are the champions of it. They will be facing Cameroon, who are, well, goal scorers, you would say 6 goals in their opening game. So that was a huge one. Now, taking a look at Group D, we talked about Nigeria and Australia tonight at 10 p.m. The other one is a tougher one, USA and Sweden. Now, if you look at the coach of the Americans, both of them, the 2 coaches have actually coached the American national team side. So that's something that is really big about this one. Then for the coaches, they feel, okay, immediately before the draws, they were talking about the fact that they won't be pit together as not being in the same group. But right now, both of them having coached US previously, they are now on a position. So what's going to happen in this particular game? Remember, the Americans have won the FIFA Women's World Cup twice. Sweden, they've been runner-up twice because 3rd place, and they've been in the quarterfinals, but they've never won it. They're gunning for something in this one. Having been able to draw Nigeria, they will be looking for all 3 points. And for the Americans, they started so well. 3-1, they won their first game against Australia. So against Sweden, they will be looking for all points to ensure that they win the tournament again, because for 16 years, they've been looking forward to how to come back and win the game. Let's listen to the American coach.
de Chile.
Well, I mean, you know, they're going to be highly organized. You know, I think that that's something that, you know, we have to prepare for anything. We have to prepare for a team that's going to come out and press us very high, and we have to prepare for a team that may sit in. My guess is they'll come out and pressure us and press us very high. So at some point, you know, a team has to give space somewhere, and that's for us to be good at being able to exploit where the space is they're going to give us. The last time I saw Pia was at the draw. When we were both up there, and you know, got to chat to her a little bit briefly at the dinner. You know, kind of laughed beforehand, kind of that we would end up in each other's groups. So we both felt pretty prophetic about that in terms of, you know, knowing that we'd end up in the same group. But yeah, I mean, Pia's been great. You know, she was great to work with, great to work for. Enjoyed my time with her.
Pia, obviously a great coach to work with. Let's see how it's going to be on the opposite side. Now, before this track came on, you actually saw the game between Chile and Ecuador in Copa America. It started yesterday, and of course, Chile, they're the host nation. They've never won the Copa America. You have other teams like Paraguay, Uruguay, all of them winning, but Chile hosting it, they feel they will be able to win it this time around. And what a good way to start. Well, for them to have been able to start it so well, and of course getting to win the first game, and which is really the key for them. And talking about the Chileans, so actually Arturo Vidal, who gave them that opening goal, and from then they were really ready to fly. Let's just see the highlights again, and then we'll come back. We actually talked about Jack Warner. What is happening this time around? What is he talking about